What is up everyone, and welcome to some more F122 My Team Career Mode. Last time out we were at the Hungarian Grand Prix and it was not the strongest result I've ever had. We had a P8 finish after a poor qualifying and a wet start to the race. We lost a few positions and yeah, we had to try and fight our way back through the field, but we couldn't quite manage it. And so yeah, we took P8 and Alex Albon has extended his lead in the Drivers' Championship out to it's 17 points now, I believe. But coming up, we have the Belgian Grand Prix, which is a Grand Prix I've won at a couple times historically, and is one of my favourite circuits on the calendar by a country mile, I would say, honestly. I love the aesthetics of this track. I love the speed of this track. There isn't much I don't love about Belgium, and so I think there would be no better way to celebrate such an amazing track than by getting a win here. So that's going to be the goal, getting a pole position and converting that into the win, and anything less I will be a little bit disappointed in that. You know, we haven't had the greatest run of form this season, but still, despite the fact that we've struggled in comparison to Albon on multiple occasions, we are only 17 points behind him in the championship, and we have had 4 race wins out of the first 12 races of the season. So it's not a bad season by any stretch of the imagination, but it's still not enough for us to be leading the championship. Albon's still having the stronger run of form, having a good result again in Belgium, and to make things even harder for ourselves, we're upping the difficulty by 1 to reflect the fact that we won a rivalry against Max Verstappen. We were meant to have it upped for Hungary as well, but in hindsight I'm a little bit glad that it wasn't, because we really struggled around there regardless. We're going to be putting on some new components, new MGUK, new MGUH. You know, they're only at 60%, but I figure, you know, we're 12 races in and we've only used 1 of each so far, so why not try and change them? This is usually when they malfunction on the first race of using them in my experience, but yeah, we'll see whether we're capable of doing so or not. So yeah, we're 17 points behind Albon in the championship, comfortably leading the Constructors' Championship, the 2 of us, and Verstappen is 29 points behind us as well, so there's every chance in the world that he could potentially catch up to us as well. One thing that our car has been this season, which has been very nice, is reliable. It has not broken down basically at all season. It broke down once in Imola in the sprint race, which compared to last season when we were running Ferrari engines and we had 7 DNFs, this is pretty good by comparison. But you know, we could have a horrible run to end the season. Hopefully that won't happen. Practice, my pace actually didn't feel so bad. You know I'm not anywhere in the top 14. I didn't do a run on the softs. My best run was on the medium compound tyres. Was I slower than Albon? Yes, but I mean, I'm always slower than Albon, so we're gonna have to hope for good fortune and good pace to be able to extend a gap in the championship to him. You know, otherwise I think he's just going to continue getting further and further away. But we'll see. Maybe we can contend him in qualifying. You know, I'm going to be gunning for a pole position here. Whether I get it or not, we'll have to wait and find out. But I'm certainly optimistic. I've had poles here before. I'm usually pretty good on strategy. It looks like it might rain during the race, and this is actually one of the few circuits where it raining puts me at a little bit of an advantage rather than a disadvantage, because I feel like I'm fairly good in the rain around here. You know, it doesn't matter the weather. Lots of circuits I'm not very good in the wet, but this doesn't seem to be one of them. So hopefully we can use the rain to our advantage. But before anything, we have to get into the bright and sunny qualifying dry track, and we're going to be going out on a fresh set of soft compound tyres. See if we can make it through to Q2 on 1 set of tyres. That'd be ideal. It's a 1:42.6. We're not quite as fast as Albon and Norris, but we're not bad by any stretch of the imagination. And we'll see where that puts us towards the end of the session. As we go on our second run, you can see we're down in P12. I didn't want to risk it actually, so I did go on another set of soft compound tyres, but we didn't really get the improvement I was looking for. And you can see as I come on the run to the line, we only improved by 0.07 of a second, if that. So yeah, really going out on this fresh set of soft compound tyres was a bit of a waste, and we probably should have saved it for Q2. But nonetheless, we did use 2. We made it through in P12 in the end, Albon in P4, with Norris doing a 1:41.0, and that is not a time I anticipate I will be matching. Verstappen was very close to being eliminated, but he wasn't. I wouldn't say anyone in that bottom 6 is someone I would really be too surprised to see eliminated. Maybe Tsunoda, but he's been a bit up and down this season. You know, he's definitely had more than 1 Q1 exit, so I don't think that is the most surprising thing that's ever happened to him. And now we're going to see if we can get through to Q3 in Q2. We go out on a fresh set. No, this is a used set of softs. My mistake. Our first run is on a used set of softs. We're going to see where that's going to put us initially. And we do a 1:42.9. So I'm feeling like we should be able to do a faster time than our best Q1 time, which was a 1:42.6 if I'm not mistaken. We should be able to do a little bit better than that, and you can see as we come to the final corner now on a fresh set of soft compound tyres, we're about 6 or 7 tenths up. So yeah, this is a market improvement over Q1. It's going to be a 1:42.1 just about, and yeah, we make it through to Q3 in P8. Sorry, I was getting my numbers confused. I was about to say Q8, and I was like, yeah, that's not right. But nonetheless, we've made it through to Q3, and we're going to see if we can challenge anything. Albon very close to being knocked out there in P10. Gasly and Ricciardo, perhaps the most surprising exits of that session. And both AlphaTauris of Stroll and Magnussen making it through. Stroll and Magnussen actually reunited as teammates at AlphaTauri now. They were teammates at Aston Martin a few seasons ago. And yeah, it seems to be a partnership that worked, because they have linked up once again at a new team in AlphaTauri a few years down the line. We do a 1:42.6 on a used set of soft compound tyres, so I'm hoping we should be able to get an even better time come the end of the session. And yeah, you can see we're actually over a second up as we round the final couple of corners of the final chicane and everything. And I don't know where this is going to put us. It's going to be in the 1:41s. 1:41.4 as we cross the line. Is it good enough for pole position? No, it's P2 only. Ah, man, that's unfortunate. But still, definitely a position we can challenge from in the race. And hopefully we can get at least a converted P2. Albon, unsurprisingly, on pole by a couple of tenths of a second. But maybe, just maybe, if I push like hell in the race, I might be able to do something to keep the pace with him. We'll have to wait and see whether that proves to be the case or not. But yeah, for the time being, it's going to be tough. And it's looking like Albon might be extending his lead in the championship once again. I just don't seem to have the ability to keep pace with him in this championship. This season, you know, compared to last season, where I think we narrowly had the run on him throughout the majority of the season, he's come into 2028 all guns blazing, quite frankly. He is so fast this season compared to me. It's actually unreal. You know, it reminds me a lot of a career mode I did, which I did offline, not on YouTube, back in F1 2020, where I had Gasly as my teammate for seasons 3 and 4. And season 3 and 4, me and him were very evenly matched. And then we went into season 4, and I only did like 6 races in season 4, I remember. But he absolutely wiped the floor with me in all of them. You know, he lapped me at Monaco, just to give you an idea of how strong he was. And it's kind of been a similar thing here, you know. It just seems like Albon has got stronger and stronger as time has gone on. It's a shame that this didn't happen with Porsche, or undoubtedly I probably would have kept him at the team if I could have done. But yeah, we're now going to see if we can do anything to try and challenge Albon for the win here at the Belgian Grand Prix.
Belgium once again for today's round of the Formula One World Championship. It's a race that the great Ayrton Senna won 6 times, and in 2019, Charles Leclerc became the first driver to take their maiden win here since Michael Schumacher back in 1992. Spa-Francorchamps today, a circuit that spans 4.35 miles. There are tons of elevation changes along the way too. 19 corners making up this circuit, with 9 of those to the right and the remaining 10 to the left. This track's a great one for fans of pure speed, and the average lap speed comes close to a whopping 145 miles per hour. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. What a great lap from Alexander Albon yesterday. He'll start from pole position, and Robinson completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Norris, Esteban Ocon, and Sainz. Leclerc, Russell, Magnussen, and Pierre Gasly. Oscar Piastri, Joe, Théo Pourchaire, and Mick Schumacher. Lundgaard, Stroll, Robert Schwartzman, and Yuki Tsunoda. Latifi, Drugovich, Fittipaldi, and Daniel Ricciardo fills the last spot on the grid. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. Joining us today to oversee all the thrills and spills, it's Anthony Davidson. And great to see you. How are you feeling about the race today, and how are the circuit conditions from what you've seen?
Well, the surface looks clean enough, but I'm a little bit worried about the track temperature. It's pretty cool out there, which could give some teams difficulties when it comes to keeping their tyres in the right operating window. The cars out there that work their tyres hard and really put a lot of energy through them, they'll be the ones that are better off.
After the points finished last race, let's aim to keep that momentum going.
Alright, let's get into it. Let's see what kind of strategy we're going to be running and whether we will have any chance of contending with ALBON. Doesn't look like the softs are worth it around here. You know, I was seeing they were losing about 0.5 of a second per lap in qualifying, so definitely worth going medium hard. And it looks like just about everyone else in the race is doing the same thing. So yeah, we're not going to be able to get ahead of ALBON on strategy or anything like that. We're just going to see if we can push like crazy on these medium tires and go for the win here in the Belgian Grand Prix. You know, I've won here before, whether it's been due to well-timed safety cars or due to rain or due to just having the pace here. You know, there's definitely opportunities for me to win. So we're going to get ready to try and jump him as the lights come on and the lights go out. And we were slow to react there compared to ALBON, and he got away very well compared to us. So our initial chance of getting past him has already come and gone, but maybe we could try and sweep around the outside of him at turn 1. Not quite. I go a little bit deep there, and already you can see he's starting to pull away from me, and we're going to have to worry about Esteban Ocon there in P3 behind me and whether he's going to try and challenge me for P2 as we move into the Kemmel Straight. And actually we made a bit of contact there. I had to double check my front wing to make sure it wasn't damaged. You know, going wheel to wheel up Radion, it's not always the most safe thing in the world. Looks like I'm only going 3 wide into the chicane here though, but in the end I think it's Verstappen who loses out in that battle, has to concede the position. And there is a yellow flag. I don't know who that's for, but it looks like there's been some kind of incident, and it is Enzo Fittipaldi is out of the Grand Prix. The race is over for him before it's even really begun, as he only made it through a few corners before the virtual safety car got brought out, and we will see what happened with him. So he's running down the Kemmel Straight, and yeah, he's kind of under pressure from one of the Alfa Romeos behind him, and in doing so he just misjudges his braking point and goes straight into the back of one of the Hasses, I think of Robert Schwartzman there, and yeah, breaks off his entire front wing and his front tyres as well. So yeah, unfortunate there for Fittipaldi, but the VSC means that the pressure we were facing from Ocon subsided at least for a little bit until lap 5, when Ocon once again tried to challenge me up the inside at the end of the Kemmel Straight into the chicane. And we're actually going wheel to wheel through the whole of the chicane, through the fast right-hander, and all the way down into No Name. I'm a little bit stronger through this corner, so I'm hoping I should be able to get past him here, and indeed, no, actually, he's keeping his foot in once again. I will have the inside line for the next left-hander, but we do manage to get ahead of him just about off of the back of that. And now we are moving on to lap 6, and as we come again once into the DRS zone on the Kemmel Straight, you can see that it is Verstappen now piling the pressure on me. I managed to push out Ocon, and that allowed Verstappen to get ahead into P3. He's overtaken me into P2, but we're going to see if we can fight him back at some point here. He parks his car on the apex of the chicane, and that bullies me out of position a little bit. 3/10 down on him now. We're going to have to do something drastic if we want to get back ahead of him, but drastic is my middle name as we squeeze a move up the inside of No Name, and once again we make our way into P2 in this race. Albon already, after less than 7 laps, 7 seconds up the road. He is extremely fast in this race, more fast than I was even expecting he was going to be, and I wasn't anticipating that I was going to win this. After I saw him get pole, I was like, right, well, that's that done. But he has surpassed my expectations for the kind of pace he's going to be showing. I know I've been doing a lot of wheel-to-wheel battling with the AI, and here on lap 7, this is no exception, as Max Verstappen once again is trying to go for a challenge on me. We're going to try and go around the outside here on the exit of the chicane. We have the inside for the next corner. Is he going to back out? Just about, yes. And yeah, we live to fight another day in P2, but I really think I'm going to struggle to hold on to this position for 15 more laps. I'm under pressure from these guys every single lap. There's only a couple of spots on the circuit where I'm really faster than these guys, and so I wouldn't really be surprised if one of them manages to get ahead of me at some point. This is now Max Verstappen trying to go for a move on me here. You can see on the run down to Eau Rouge and then before Radion, I actually got off the throttle a tiny bit there, and I conceded the position to him because my plan here is to play a bit of DRS chicken with him. I get myself the DRS and then try and go for a move with the DRS, and it should be easy as pie. But you can see that despite the fact that I got battery and DRS, that Red Bull is so fast, I actually am struggling to overtake it, even with DRS and ERS. We go for a little bit of a cheeky move up the inside at the chicane there, and yeah, we just about managed to keep hold of the position overall. But my goodness, that car is so fast. So anyway, we now find ourselves towards the end of lap 10 as we come on the run down to the bus stop chicane, and I think Max Verstappen might be sizing up a move up the inside here, and indeed he has done just that. I couldn't even really keep around the outside of him. It's not the kind of corner that you can really go wheel to wheel through unless you're feeling particularly bold. You're going to sabotage your entire run through the corner if you try and do that. And yeah, that meant we had to end up giving the position to Max Verstappen. So I'm going to have to see if I can do what I did before and get the DRS for the Kemmel straight and see if I can overtake him. But the Red Bull is so fast, I just absolutely can't see a world in which that's going to happen from 3/10 back. You know, I was a lot closer to him on the previous occasion. So yeah, we'll see if we can mount a challenge on him, but I am not optimistic about this, to be honest with you. We are now closing him down with the DRS. Are we going to go to the inside? He's going to defend to the inside. He kind of defends up the middle of the corner, and I don't know, that was a bit of a dodgy defense from him. Maybe maybe you could call it well defended. I don't know, but either way, we make our way into P3 as we come through No Name. And I think we're just gonna have to settle for this position at this point now. You know, this is another Red Bull of Pierre Gasly, who's pulling off to the side of the circuit now. His race is over for a second consecutive race. He retired in Hungary as well, you might remember. And yeah, his weekend gone from bad to worse. He was running at about 17th as well, so he wasn't even having a particularly remarkable one. But yeah, unfortunate for him as we reach the halfway point of this Grand Prix, and we're coming in to fit the hard compound tyre to the end of the Grand Prix. Max Verstappen coming in at the same time, so maybe he can get held up in the pits for a little bit and maybe we can jump him once again, but I'm not particularly optimistic about this. And the AI loves to heat its tyres up faster than me. You know, it can literally be driving in a straight line and generating heat in the tyres somehow. So yeah, I think we're going to struggle here a little bit. We do get held there for Max Verstappen to come past, and yeah, we're about as close to him as we can possibly get, so we're going to see if we can battle him on the exit of the pits and maybe try and close him down with the DRS into the Kemmel straight. But he's so fast in a straight line, it's actually unbelievable. I think maybe I've got my car set up wrong for this track or something, because my goodness, the AI is just absolutely unraceable. It wasn't even close, and there was no point even showing you my half-hearted attempt with the DRS because we didn't even get close to him. And by lap 15, we're not even in his DRS range anymore. You know, he is breaking away. I'm doing everything I can to try and close back down to him. You can see I've used up quite a lot of my battery at this point, but it's just not possible. He is so fast. You know, choosing him as my rival might have been a mistake. Keep in mind, we have a faster car than theirs, supposedly, overall, but maybe it's just not faster in a straight line. I don't know. Maybe that Red Bull powertrain has come good over the course of the season, because, I mean, the Mercedes looked like the powertrain to have at the start of the season, but clearly they've done some kind of supplier upgrade to that thing to make it an absolute bullet. I even was complaining at this point. I was like, that car is just a bullet, just absolutely. It's just unraceable. And hopefully the Ferrari will be a little bit more raceable, because Leclerc is only about a 10th down on me. And yeah, we're going to have to try and do something pretty special here to defend from him. Burning a lot of battery down the Kemmel straight. Push him to the inside of the corner, means he won't be able to defend from me. And now we're going to try and go around the outside, which switches to the inside at the second part of the chicane. And yes, we do manage to hold on to that P18 position. P18? P3. We're on lap 18. My goodness. I'm not with it today. I'm very sorry. But yeah, you can tell I'm not with it because my racing has not been fantastic either. And this is no exception to that. You can see that we are wheel-to-wheel through the bus stop chicane this time. That means he will no doubt get a better exit from the corner than me here. And we are going to have to do something pretty good to be able to hold him off. I'm burning quite a lot of battery to see if I can do anything. But we're going to have the outside of the following corner. And that is going to mean we're going to be under pressure from him the whole time here. And as we come on the run down to Eau Rouge, it's going to be a real challenge to try and get ahead of Leclerc. I think he might have been marginally ahead of me there, and so maybe we're getting the DRS here. But even with the DRS, this is not going to be as easy as said and done to try and get ahead of him here. We do have the pace with the DRS and the DRS. I think Ocon is going to try and force a move through as well, maybe Sainz as well. So you can see it is me and then Leclerc and Ocon going wheel to wheel just behind me. I think Ocon has actually won out in that battle for the time being. And now as we move on to the final lap of the race, you can see that the rain has come out of nowhere to make the track almost undrivable. I have to brake about 100 meters before the first corner now to have any chance of staying. Leclerc has had a moment at turn 1 and he's gone off the track, and that has caused him to lose at least 3 positions to Ocon, Sainz and Russell. And yeah, this I think is going to give us this podium fairly comfortably, I would have to say. Ocon having a tremendous result in P4 there. But yeah, the grip is non-existent on these slick tyres. You know, these are used hard tyres in the wet. That is about the worst combination of tyres you can possibly get. There is no grip on these things whatsoever, and I am going to have to work very hard to try and get through these last few corners. Ocon has really closed the gap to me, and you know, I think the rain is about the only thing stopping him from trying to put a bit of a challenge on me. I thought I broke early enough there, but we went quite deep. We got the inside of the following corner, which means we'll just be able to hold on to it as long as he doesn't get a better exit than me, which I don't think he has. We're going to cross the line to take P3. It is a podium finish. Not quite what we wanted here, but given the circumstances and given our pace compared to the AI, I will take a P3 in comparison. You know, that is not the worst result to get.
You can't fault the performance on the track today. A well-deserved victory. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
The faces on our top 3 look so incredibly happy as they make their way up to the podium. A much-deserved victory and a brilliant performance from them all.
Yes, indeed, Albon with the victory once again. He didn't have to work too hard for that one. He just you know, gave it his full pace, and it turns out his full pace is faster than anyone else's full pace. Fastest car, fastest driver, actually unbeatable on his day. I'm pretty sure. You know, I think even if, you know, it was someone who was a lot more competent than me, he finished 30 seconds up the road from me. So yeah, a really hard challenge.
So let's review the updated driver standings. It's a positive result for Alexander Albon, who moves further out in front at the top of the standings. Well, after an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
Yuki Tsunoda gets my vote today.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. The current leaders continue to extend their lead at the top. Meanwhile, a strong weekend from Red Bull this time out, and they improve their position in the championship. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time out? Be sure to join us once again as we continue to bring you all the excitement of Formula One.
Alex Albon has extended the gap in the drivers' standings to 28 points, which means once again he is out of what we call DNF range, which means if he breaks down in a race, he will still be leading the championship no matter what happens. We are 162 points ahead of both Ferrari and Red Bull, who are currently tied on points in the constructors' standings. I would be very surprised if we don't wrap this Constructors' Championship up with at least 3 or 4 races to go. We have been utterly dominant, even though I haven't had what I would consider to be one of my finest seasons in this game. it has been enough, you know, it has been more than enough, and at this point I am just looking forward to getting back to a bit of normality. You know, I can whack on 90 difficulty and still contend with the AI pretty well in F1 23, hopefully. Looking forward to the new traction and handling model in the game. Apparently it's going to be much more refined and nice for controller players, which is something I'm looking forward to, because at the moment the experience is not great, honestly. I had a couple moments in this race where I was really getting a little bit infuriated with just how difficult I'm finding it to play at the moment. But yeah, with the changes that they're apparently bringing to F1 23, I think it would be the perfect opportunity for me to at least lower my assist level. Maybe not turn it off completely, but you know, turning down the traction control is a big one, and that's gonna give me a bit more pace as well, no doubt. Maybe, you know, trying to learn the tracks without the line, that kind of thing. Those kinds of skills are ones that I want to acquire over the course of the next game life cycle. You know, I've been playing this game long enough at this point that it's time to start practicing without the assists. I'm also apparently getting a racing wheel at some point soon as well. So yeah, that is pretty exciting. I'm being sent it by one of my good friends and one of my viewers on Twitch. Yeah, he says he doesn't really use it, so he's happy for me to have it, which is going to be very nice. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, then make sure you do that. And also, if you're not following me on Twitch, there is a link in the description of the video to my Twitch channel, which would be you know, a really good idea to go and follow that, because we do a lot of F1 content over there. You know, we've been doing at least 3 streams every week of F1 22 at the moment. We do a lot of open lobby races, which I know a lot of people are keen on and enjoy. We also just finished a driver career over there, driving for Haas, which is a banger. Really enjoyed that season, and yeah, next week at some point, which might be this week by the time this video goes out, I'm not 100% sure, we will be doing an open lobby battle royale style, where we turn on sim damage, turn off all the rules, and it is just a free-for-all who can survive the longest. But yeah, that is just a few sort of things I thought I would plug. Not too much to say. Hopefully we can contend with ALBON throughout the rest of the championship, but I have to admit it's not looking good for us. But that is going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed, please make sure you like and subscribe, and hopefully I will see you in the next one.